Are we live?
We are live without theme music.
Da, 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 da.
Dun, dun, dun. Welcome to Talking Trek. Dun, 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 dun. I am Dan. I am here in my geek lair that is coming together quite nicely, I think.
I am Brian. I'm sitting outside today in my front yard.
Yeah, it's a nice front yard, too. How many acres do you have?
About 2.5.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
not bad.
You don't have a next door neighbor. That's very nice.
Right. I have my closest neighbor is someone you've met, my friend Pamela. And you can't even, like in the summertime, you can't even see her house. It's kind of up the hill a little bit that way, but that's it.
We have our closest neighbor is about 30 yards that way, right outside this window I'm looking at. And then then the next closest neighbor is a half a mile away.
Oh.
So it's not too bad. I like it.
Cool.
Living in the middle of nowhere. But Brian, you know the reason for the season today, I believe.
I think it has something to do with Star Trek.
I think so. Talking Trek, and today we are talking lower decks.
Talking decks.
We're talking decks. That is what we're doing.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I also love this poster that All Access gave us.
Yeah, that's nice. Nice little teaser.
And it looks like something they put fake creases into it.
I saw that. I love it.
Like it's so fun. I enjoy it a lot. But I have put together, in order so we can have things easier up on screen, I've been playing with implementing PowerPoint into this because I'm a nerd apparently from the 90s. So you have to have PowerPoint and everything. But it makes it real easy to just start talking about the show by like, oh, I hit a button and here are some characters we can talk about right now. Very
nice. You know, somebody I wanted to talk about was Captain Freeman, Captain Carol Freeman, the captain of the USS Cerritos.
A California-class vessel, it's been told. And according to StarTrek.com, one of the least important ships in Starfleet.
Oh.
It makes me so happy that they're just taking the mickey out of all of this altogether. But our captain is being played by Don Lewis. And I actually don't know anything about Don Lewis. What about you?
No, the only person I even recognize on the cast list is Jerry O'Connell.
Yes, as Commander Ransom. So the guy with the 5 o'clock shadow going on there. And then Fred Tassashore as Lieutenant Shax. Based on the cop stash, I'm assuming he's chief of security, but he's also a Bajoran, so that's fun.
Oh, don't mind behind me. It's oh, there they are. Raptors on the loose.
Oh. Yeah, look at those raptors go. Look at those dinosaurs. Clever girl. Oh man. Oh, the one up front is gorgeous.
Yeah, he's the only surviving rooster. These are Pamela's chickens. They come over and visit us.
And they move in a flock.
And his name is Blackwing. And yeah, he was born here actually last year before. And he's beautiful.
Wonderful. And then you have a straggler going. Smart. That is fantastic.
Crazy.
I love it. But yeah, so we have I can't quite read it on our screen, so let me just go here. Gillian Vigman as Dr. Tana or Ta'ana, cat-like species. I'm assuming
the Zinti.
The Zinti. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. I didn't know that. Are those the cat from Star Trek V?
I think it originated in the animated series back in the 70s.
Yes, you are correct. So from one animated series to another.
And then I think she might have, or there might have been one. I know there was a cat creature in Star Trek V. Ended up getting thrown into the
weird
underwater pool table or whatever heck it was.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know.
Then Riker, Captain Riker mentioned them in the episode Nepenthe of Picard season 1.
Oh, I didn't even remember that.
Yep. So, and now here we are. We're actually seeing one on the screen in another animated series.
Oh, excellent. Fantastic. Well, let's go meet our main characters because they're the command staff, but this show is not premised around them. We have Tawny Newsome as Ensign Mariner, and she's got a batleth looking badass with a batleth.
Why does she have a batleth?
Why not?
Cultural appropriation.
A little bit, but is it cultural appropriation or affinity for the culture when you're taking pieces? Like, especially if you are showing genuine facility with the device.
I could do without it.
Okay.
I just think it's one of those things that we gotta squeeze a batleth in here somehow.
I like though that it's I'm going to call it Klingon classic version, the Worf style of batleth.
Oh yeah, I'm not crazy about the ones we see on Discovery.
Not at all. I'm glad they have them. I'm glad it was identified in the pilot episode by her heads-up display. I don't like their look, but I'm also accepting it as many batleths can have different looks.
Sure.
All right. I do not know the species of this green-skinned alien woman, but Noelle Wells as Ensign Tendi.
Do you think maybe she's Orion?
See, look at you pulling from Trek lore and history. You're just like green skin, Orion. Come on, Daniel. And it's just like, right, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, she's not as dark green as we've seen most Orions, but I'm colorblind, so I didn't even know she was green until you said it.
Oh, very.
So I didn't know.
very 21st century haircut though, as well, of the shape, like the closely cropped sides of the hair. So just giving people styles of whatever period Star Trek is being made in. And that is now. By the way, the year this show is taking place is 2380. It is supposed to be the year after Star Trek Nemesis.
Yes. 1 year after Nemesis, which means it's a direct sequel to Nemesis, Voyager, DS9, and TNG.
Exactly.
And takes place 5 years from the attack on Mars by the Synths. 5 years prior.
5 years before the Romulan evacuation.
Right.
All that
or
at least 4 years. 4 to 5. So 4 to 5 years before that. 5 years before the Synths. So we're in a happy fun park time. Fingers crossed of the Federation. All right. Eugene Cordero as Ensign Rutherford. And you were saying, I just cut you off. You said so.
Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Carry on.
So, Eugene Cordero as Ensign Rutherford. Reminds me, I was thinking Cyborg from Teen Titans Go. The design.
Never watched it.
Design of Space. Hilarious show. You should honestly check it out. It's fantastic. It treats the characters well while also taking the piss out of them at the same time. It's kind of great. But he looks also vaguely Borg-ish, but maybe he's just an augmented human, like we see, like for instance, Lieutenant Detmer on.
Does he have some sort of prosthetic hand or something?
Let me remove our little brand there, see if it gives us any indication. It's not showing me right there. But I was.
Is that a tricorder in his right hand?
That is a tricorder right there, and it's a TNG looking tricorder too. That's
the only thing that we see of any kind of augment is that headpiece and the ocular thing. So, it reminds me less of Borg and more of Jem'Hadar, to be honest.
Okay, I could see that. And also, it's stuff in Star Trek that we haven't necessarily seen, but also just because we haven't seen it yet doesn't mean it doesn't belong.
It could be some sort of, maybe he's colorblind.
Oh, there you go. It's like,
and that helps him. Ooh, I have a bug on me. It's driving me crazy. Sitting outside. So, my original thought was, we see the Geordie's device that he did. The visor. Thank you. What the heck?
I don't know.
We saw that for so long. Maybe it's some sort of variation of that he needs that. Maybe he's blind in that eye or lost that eye, and that being there gives him depth perception or something
Yeah.
that he wouldn't otherwise have. I mean, I suppose you could have an ocular implant, kind of like Geordie's new eyes.
It could be.
But maybe he's, allergic to Retin X5 or some such thing.
Or he decided, I want to be better than other humans and have some augmentation, not going crazy Borg levels with it, but he has his own built-in heads-up display. Oh, and Janine Rinker just says, heads-up display with heraldry striping for indicating colors to the colorblind. There we go. It's everything. It's all of the above.
I love it.
What is it? Yes, that is what it is. So let's go.
Really, he's just watching Netflix on that one screen.
The entire time. He's just like, I'm catching up on following the example of the Orville, I'm catching up on my 20th and 21st century entertainment. Because there's so much of it. It takes until the 24th century to watch it all.
You don't think that Netflix is going to be gone by then, do you? Come on.
No.
They'll still be producing original content.
And you're going to be paying in gold press latinum. Jack Quaid will be Ensign Boimler. So I'd say we have a red shirt, except that TNG era, it's command. Also, I am digging these uniforms, and Jim Teasdale, friend of the show, also saying he's digging them too. And we're going to be looking at these uniforms a little bit more.
I like them, but I'm sad that they moved away from the uniforms that we last saw in Nemesis and Deep Space Nine, because I loved those uniforms. I loved them.
Okay, those were good. However, it wouldn't be Starfleet if they didn't have a complete wardrobe change every couple of years, except in the Wrath of Khan era, because those uniforms were so great. That's true. All they did was remove the turtleneck.
Which was foolish.
I know.
Maybe the officers were complaining it was too hot.
It's just like, too hot. Oh my God, I can't deal with it. And then let's look at these uniforms. I actually have two different slides of them. One of the look for the actual animated series. So here we are: Command Division, Operations, and Sciences. Sciences gets white boots, or at least the med staff do. And then done slightly less cartoony, that version there with, but for the piping around the pants, it's done very next generation style. And if this and this is so close, this is so similar. We said this on the show before. So similar to the abandoned uniform design for Star Trek Generations.
Right.
Oh, I would have loved this. And by the way, that last one, not that you can't tell, but it is the medical variant. And it has pockets. Hey Doc, that's a great outfit. Great.
See, it's kind of what you were saying here is the medical uniform has the white boots.
Yes. But one thing, I'm not sure if you can see it on the screen here. I'm making it full screen. What they did is something I think is stupid. It's just as stupid as putting the Starfleet insignia on all over the Discovery boots. They put the departmental trim on the scuff zone for each of the boots.
Huh.
Yeah. It's like, why'd you do that? That's stupid. I don't like it.
That's weird.
However, I will very soon, as I'm sure you could probably guess, myself be owning one of those jackets. I don't know how, but I have my jackets here, and I'm going to be having one of those because that's great. It's like, it reminds me of those denim biker jacket versions of the team uniform that you sent me. It reminds me of those.
Yeah, they're real nice. I like them a lot.
But let's look at that ship.
They look great in this slide, by the way.
Yeah, this one where it looks like it's taken from like one of the classier versions of the comic book. Yes, this one, it looks very Rick and Morty, but it's created by Rick and Morty. So there we go.
Speaking of which, before we get to the ship,
okay.
One thing that I read was that this is not necessarily going to be a comedy like we kind of thought it was going to be.
Yes.
I have a feeling that they're going to have a hard time struggling with what to classify this show as, much like the Orville. There's my dog in the background. Hi, Daisy.
Hey, Daisy.
No, not Daisy. The show, the show is going to be dealing with a lot of science fiction stories and such right from the creator's mouth. So I wonder if we're going to see that same thing where it may start off trying to be a little jokey, but like the Orville kind of did at first too, which was basically Star Trek with dick jokes.
Yeah.
And then has kind of moved into the realm of its own science fiction show, its own place.
Yeah.
Without being overly goofy.
Yeah, like the second half of Orville season 2, I felt they hit their stride really, really well. It's good sci-fi, both in terms of the stories and the actual fictional science that you're seeing, but it's also enough of a comedy and lighthearted enough that they can have fun with it. And they hit the balance pretty well the second half of season 2. And I'm thinking specifically of the episode where Bortus's people, the Mocklins, there we go.
Yes.
Are having their own little civil war on that colony world, and then the Orville gets involved with it, and you have Dolly Parton's 9 to 5 playing as the score for it, and for the battle on the ground and also the battle in space. And it was so ridiculous that it made it absolutely great, because they could have made it a very serious scene, or they could have made it a very jokey scene. And instead, they took this beautiful knife's edge middle point and treated it seriously, but then gave it 9 to 5 to be the anthem of the Mocklin women.
You know, I don't remember that. I'm going to have to go back and watch it again, I think.
Oh, it's a scene I've watched probably 15 times.
But I mean, on that point, I mean, just think of the Mocklins and how, you know, some of the story points that they used about not having females, and, you know, that whole thread with the couple of episodes they dealt with that was some pretty deep stuff. Yeah,
I mean, they're dealing with gender identity. They're dealing with do you have the right to choose? Does your culture have the right to choose, or does the individual have the right to choose? And then I
have a big storm coming in right now.
All right, so we might have to end early. Andrew, I'll just keep talking.
Keep going until the tree behind me falls over.
Oh, that would be sad, because it's a gorgeous tree.
Or my stand falls over with my.
But I'm thinking it is gonna probably try to go that Orville route. But they're saying this is not a kid show. They're saying, well, they didn't say it's not a kid show. They're saying it's not being marketed to children.
Just to children, right? Exactly. Not like the Nickelodeon show, which is going to be marketed directly to children, which I will still watch.
Oh, yeah, because you look at most Nick shows that are aimed to... That was a big peal of thunder.
Yep.
And you had a beautiful collie running through the background, too.
Yeah, that's Pamela's dog.
And her chickens, and they're all coming to your house to escape.
Here comes Hudson. Hold on, my black lab is terrified of thunder. Here he is.
Oh, Hudson.
You okay, buddy?
And there's Daisy. Hello.
I got to let him in the house.
Okay, so
I'll just take you with me. It's okay.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so we're going
buddy.
We're going on a trip here. Hopefully, going where Brian has gone before.
He likes to hide in the closet.
Oh, my cat does not want to turn on the vacuum.
He finds that it is the best soundproofing, which is bizarre that a dog figured that out.
I like it though. My mom's dog, well, her old dog, you had to wrap in a heavy blanket because it was kind of like those weighted blankets. Like he needed that level of comfort. But let's get back into this real quick. So I'm totally going to cosplay as this at some point. Jim is saying the same thing. Jim, you and me, man. You and me. We're doing this. All right. And let's look at that ship.
That is it's cool. I like it. I don't hate it. What do you think?
I'm wondering, how do you get from the saucer to the star drive?
Well, those pylons are big enough for an elevator shaft.
Yeah, you could totally have Jeffries tubes and turbo lifts in there, but
they would go into the nacelles, which is kind of weird.
And that makes no sense to me.
I was watching Captain Foley on Trek Yards, and he was theorizing that perhaps the entire bottom section is unmanned.
Oh, as in there's no one down there unless you need to physically go in and do repairs. But then where would main engineering would be not connected to the star drive section?
That's if that's actually the star drive section. I mean, maybe it is. I mean, it's got the nacelles on it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that, that's obviously a deflector dish there in the middle.
Yeah, next gen style, Galaxy class style specifically.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that the saucer section is very reminiscent of a Galaxy class.
It really is, up to and including the phaser array. I'm assuming that's what that is. That big yellow stripe.
Yeah, that's a weird stripe.
I'm assuming it's the phasers.
One of the ideas that I'd heard was that darker colored section underneath the saucer module, that might be the impulse engines.
Oh, okay. That'd be weird, but okay.
Whoa.
Nope. It's Rainer number Ryan.
Yeah, the rain is coming. Rain is coming.
Yeah, it's certainly neat. Oh, there we go. It's certainly neat looking. Susan is asking, aren't there normally people in deflector control? I always imagined yes.
Well, I mean, can these things be run remotely from the saucer? And if something needs to be repaired in there, and those other sections, can they beam in? I don't know. I
feel like that would be a terrible use of, because Starfleet usually seems to like the redundancies of people physically going into things. It's like,
right.
Why is the entire ship remote? It's like because things break.
And all right, I'm going in.
Ryan's going inside.
It's pouring now.
You're getting more for your money today, folks. Brian is taking us all on a tour. I mean, this is possibly the greatest episode that we've done yet.
And my kitchen, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, see, you can do the show from your kitchen. That is a gorgeous kitchen.
Thanks. So,
Susan says that the stripe is a "don't walk beyond this point" stripe.
So I don't know what they're going to do. Come on. I'm going to get my yellow lab in here. Come on, Peps. She doesn't, she's old now, so she doesn't like walking up the front stairs.
Oh, okay.
But the back stairs are a little more shallow. There you go. Good girl.
There you go, Daisy.
All right, let me turn on some lights so I can see. Sorry about this distraction, folks.
No, we're getting the tour today, and I am here for it. I'm loving it.
All right. So now I'm sitting at my kitchen table.
And you just did a rewatch of everything not too long ago. So this question's more for you. Susan says, where would you send the losers as per Voyager? So that is a question. That is a question for you.
I don't understand it.
Oh, okay. I don't either, because I never fully watched Voyager. I only caught bits and pieces of it.
Oh, I have watched it. It's been a couple of years now since I did that full rewatch. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. What the idea is. I prefer that those pylons weren't there.
Yeah.
And that it was set up more like, like the, not the Miranda, but the, a Miranda class.
Well, right? Yeah, Miranda class, Rathacon, Nebula class, Next Generation, same concept. Yeah. That would have been fine. Or have the nacelles directly attached to it. It doesn't necessarily need a deflector, like a big deflector array or a star drive section. But we'll see. And how does it work?
It's also possible that there's a big ass shuttle bay in that section too.
Could be, and yeah, you can totally have people going down, because through those pylons that connect the saucer to the nacelles. Mm-hmm. But basically, think about it. This is a 4-pylon ship, 2 nacelles, 4 pylons, because there's 2 pylons each coming out from the star drive section. So It's going to be interesting, but I think you have to have main engineering down there in order to be able to have direct physical control of the engines. It only makes sense to me.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I really don't. I'm just, I just right now everyone's kind of guessing because it does seem kind of silly.
Yeah,
with those pylons connected to the nacelles like they are.
I'm gonna also say, I'm thinking that this ship does have separation capability based on the dark stripe on the bottom of the saucer section there, because it looks like it possibly connects to the pylon so that the ship can then pull apart right there, and that's your main that's your main docking array for it. And then it can potentially become a plug-and-play ship of, we're going to bring in a saucer with different weaponry and all that, which is what the Galaxy-class concept was originally supposed to be. Oh, and Susan is explaining her, where do we put the losers? She said, it's an episode of Voyager where the captain takes some of the losers on her crew on a mission on a shuttle. At least one of them was stationed either in deflector control or some other isolated post. So now we know. Oh, goodness gracious. So, overall thoughts. I mean, we're getting it in a month.
Yeah, August 6th is the premiere date on CBS All Access. I'm super excited. We're getting more Star Trek. We are continuing with the second golden age of Star Trek.
Yeah, and it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be focusing on characters that are not the bridge crew, which is interesting. We will meet the bridge crew. We will see them. We will interact with them. But it seems like it'll mostly focus on the lower deck folks. And the specialty of this ship, from what I understand, is that they do second contact.
Yes, this is second contact teams. So we've met the Federation. You've sent in the best and brightest. You've sent in Jean-Luc Picard or Catherine Janeway or whomever. All right, cool. All right, send in people who won't screw it up too much now. All right, cool. Hey, hi, welcome. We're not going to mess things up too bad. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm very
to seek out already discovered worlds.
Did it say on the poster, I'm going, rarely going where no one has gone before?
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, I'm excited.
It's going to be a good time in this new golden age of Star Trek. Would we call it, like following comic book parlance, would we call this Silver Age Star Trek right now? Because a lot of people have their big issues with Discovery and with Picard.
Well, just like they did with TNG.
Yeah, though. And it took a few years for it to become the new golden age of Star Trek. So, so the original series period in the 60s, we can call that the mythical age. And then the 90s, once TNG hits season 3, and then you get DS9 Voyager, that's your golden age. We fall from grace with Dark Nemesis. And then now we're in the Silver Age.
Okay. All right. I can go with that.
Cool. It's the Silver Age of Star Trek.
One more thing I wanted to mention is that because this takes place a year after Nemesis, and we're fresh off of Voyager coming home, we're fresh off of DS9, just a couple of years prior with the events of Cisco disappearing into the wormhole, we could see characters from each of those series make guest appearances. We could go to DS9. We could encounter the Defiant or the Titan or Admiral Janeway. Yeah,
Captain Picard or Admiral. We don't know exactly when he gets the promotion to Admiral. Which I'm going to say, I think it was said on the show, but maybe Riker said it. It's a promotion he never should have taken. He should have listened to Kirk.
Kirk warned him.
Don't let anyone take you out of the center chair of that ship. Don't let them promote you. Don't let them harass you.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of Captain Kirk, have you been following his captain's logs on Twitter?
No, I try to avoid him when I can.
Oh, well, the last 100 days of this pandemic, he has been doing a captain's log every day, and he just signed out for the last one. He was like, all right, 100 days, that's enough. and he signed off. The last words were, "It's been fun."
Oh, that touches me a little bit right there. An example of a person who plays a far better version of himself than he often displays in public.
I would agree with that statement.
Yeah, but I've also met and worked with people who say that he is a very warm person if you're able to get to know him. So I guess it just depends, like so many of us.
Right. All right. Well, I guess that's about it for today.
Yeah. Any final thoughts?
Just that I'm really excited to see what they come up with this show. It's new ground for us. In a way, new ground. It's an animated show which we've seen, but the first time around, it was marketed for children on a Saturday morning cartoon slot. So this is really kind of new ground, new territory for us, where we're getting an animated series that's going to be made for everyone. So I'm super excited. 30-minute shows, 10 episodes, season 2 already greenlit. We're good. Yeah,
I'm very excited about this. And my last words I'm going to take from my elementary and high school friend Matt, who made his comments in Shatner-esque staccato. Here we go. What does God need with a starship?
Spock.
Jim, we don't ask the Almighty for his ID. I'm asking a question. Oh, best moment of a crappy movie.
That was a great scene.
No, yeah, that was a good scene, and I don't want you to take away my pain. I need my pain. Also a good scene.
Much like, oh God, I can't believe I want to go here. Much like Crystal Skull, it has its moments.
I genuinely enjoyed Crystal Skull.
Oh, I enjoyed it about as much as I enjoyed Star Trek V. So they both have their moments. If they come on TV, I will watch them.
Okay. I don't have cable, so I can't do that. So.
Well, I don't either. But if I see it,
if you see it, if Alexa starts to play it for you, you're not going to say no.
Right. Exactly.
All right, friends. That's all from me. It's all from Brian. Peace and long life. Live long and prosper, everyone.
Good night, everybody. See you next week.
Bye-bye.